Mic check 1 2 1 2. Oh, I'm starting later than I wanted to. All right. Think practically set up. How's everyone doing today? All right. I am constantly fixing my setup, so it's going to be a second. Move everything around. Wish I had music to go with it. All right. This uh let's see. That's okay-ish. Yeah, everything's being moved around right now. It's good stuff. I'm getting in the process of upgrading some things, but just you know means that my area is not the most organized in the world, unfortunately. And over-organization is not something I suffer from in general. uh, anyways, so I'll be working. Hey, Creative Fit, how you doing? You can kind of see top of my head real quick. Let's see. There we go. All right, so I'm going to be working on this painting today. Just need to get my palette out and I'll get started. Yeah, my room is a disaster at the moment, my studio. My girlfriend came in earlier and she was like, how are you going to stream? Like, where are you going to stand? Suffering over here, too much stuff in a small space. Suffering here with too much stuff in a small space. Yeah. I'm lucky. I don't think my room's that small, but at the moment, when everything's in transition, um, it's all a little messy and disorganized and so on. But yeah, it's all good stuff though overall. Like, I'm really looking forward to having my setup completely upgraded. So my palette, I keep. It's just a glass that I got from Home Depot. I keep it in a airtight container. So hopefully everything should be still uh, pretty wet and good to go. Good if it says yep, yeah. I mean, look, I'm not. I would be lying if I claimed to be a very organized person when it comes to like this type of stuff. But I mean, I literally have like boxes in my room right now from all the stuff I ordered, and the stuff some of the stuff I ordered was damaged, so they're replacing it. So I have like boxes on top of boxes and so on. It's a mess, but it's all good. It's a good mess. A good mess to have. I discovered something really cool. Um, they they have these little like keyboards with what's it called, with like trackpads on them, and they're wireless. And I haven't gotten it yet, and they're cheap. They're not very expensive, so I bought one. We'll see if it's, as long as it's not horrible, I'll be able to use it when I stream. So I won't have to like go back and forth to my computer every single time I need to do anything. Uh, I'm super excited about that. All right, let's see. The camera was moved. Is this a good place for it? Yeah, it's a decent place for it. Yeah, it's like I think they have, $15 to $30 depending on which one you get. I think I went with a pretty cheap version. I don't remember, but yeah, it's such a simple thing, but I am so looking forward to it. Because the that's one thing that's just been killing me during the streams, is constantly having to like make it to my computer and back. You have a bunch of complexity that's in the work, though. I get it. Wait, you get it? I have a bunch of complexity that I'm working through. Okay. Is this on your setup or your painting? Is that what you're referring to, or am I misunderstanding? Misunderstanding. But lowering expectations. Okay. I mean, my expectations for this little Bluetooth keyboard are not like super high, because I'm assuming it's going to be like functional at best. You do some green screen and VR. Oh, I can't imagine. That sounds so much more difficult. Yeah. No, my setup, the issue with my setup is that my computer is over there, and my desk where I do my job is over there. And then my easel is, like, I don't know, 5 feet away, something like that. That makes it challenging. It's not the most challenging thing in the world by any stretch, but if I had more, I don't know, actually, even if I had a second computer and a second monitor and all that stuff, I don't know where I'd put it that would make it convenient. I really need one camera to dedicate to the green screen, but a $300 upgrade. Yeah, I bought this camera. It's the Sony ZV-E10. I bought this last year, I think it was. I got it on sale for like $600, which wasn't much of a sale. It was like a $50, something. It's a really good camera, limited in its, it's not a full frame camera, but it's a good camera. I would say the what's it called? The kit lens, not the best, not the worst, but not the best. But otherwise, I think it's a really good good camera, um, and you can stream with it pretty easily, and you can record pretty. It does pretty much everything I need it to do pretty easily for the most part. I also really needed a camera to be able to photograph my paintings and photograph reference and so on. I mean, look, what's it called? Cell phones are great, but for certain things, for other things, they are not good enough. We'll put it that way. Let's see if my painting is still wet. I think it might be because a lot of the paint is really thick. Oh, that's dry. Oh, that is very wet. Damn. All right. But other than a camera like this, what's it called? I bet you can find a decent webcam for under 300. I also used to use a cell phone. I did that for a long time too. For depending on how large everything is, I don't know. That might be. I mean, what am I saying? You probably know all this stuff already. I'm sorry. I always get into that. And I feel bad when talking to people. I feel bad because I a lot of times try and help and try and give, you know, I don't know if advice is the right word, but input. I'm trying to be helpful, but a lot of times, if not most of the time, they already know this stuff. You probably know all of this stuff already. I'm not helping you in any way, probably, but yeah. So I apologize if that is the case. Overall, I'm just trying to generally be helpful. Oh, I have a few, but the crispiness, the sharpness that is needed for the green screen, yeah, it's all good. Yeah, all right, that's fair. Um, yeah, I don't know much about green screening, to be fair. That aspect of it, I don't know much about. I I thought about doing some kind of green screen or cutout of some sort, but I couldn't really see like how much I needed it, so I just didn't never bothered pursuing it. I have thought about trying to make like an basically like a VTuber avatar. So instead of me, it'd be a VTuber avatar. Thought about doing that. Your 1080 is working better than your two 4K cameras right now. That's that sucks. Yeah, this camera placement isn't going to be permanent. I don't like how because it's so far away. All the blacks are like completely like I'm in so much in shadow. I don't like it. Oh, at least they're working better for the green screen. You're saying okay, that's fair. Let me move this over a little. That better? I have this stupid thing in the way. I'm trying to figure out a place for this. The thing that I used to have this camera on, my face cam on, isn't on my desk anymore. So so I have to find a new place for it. Yeah, that's not a great spot for it, that's for sure. All right, last attempt. Then I'm just gonna get to painting. The painting is looking good. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's I'm happy with where it's going. There are aspects, painting. Yeah, you know this from your experience. Painting is very much a like how can I put this? Like, I equate it kind of like I guess it's in a way it's similar to like making a basket and like shooting hoops or anything else like that, where it's like you can be really good at it. You can have done it a million times, and a lot of times when you're going to get it in, you're going to get it in before it even goes in. Sometimes you're wrong, even though you think you're right. But there's a degree of like uncertainty to it, at least for me. Like, I never know for sure I'm going to stick the landing, so to speak. I have confidence in myself that I will, just based off of my, experience at this point. But not every painting's a successful painting, so, But yeah, so far I'm happy with it. There are aspects that I'm concerned about, but I think I'll pull it off. I think about making a poop. The good part is the process and the whole thing a mess till it works out. I don't know that that's the I don't know that that's the analogy I would go for. But there is a degree of like, you are right. There is a degree of messiness that's part of the process, and it's funny because sometimes my girlfriend will come and look at my painting midway, and she'll tell me, she'll give me her opinion on it, which is not the most positive sometimes. And it's like, yeah, that's because it's in the ugly stage. Like, a lot of paintings go through an ugly stage. And then later she likes it. She's not like crapping on my paintings, I like to think the joy is in the studio, not the gallery. Oh, 100%. You are 100% correct. It is challenging because I think a lot of artists get caught up in the dream of the gallery kind of thing, and they forget where the joy really lies. But you're absolutely right. The joy is in the studio. It's in the creation, and I think that is an unbelievably important part of it, because it's also one of those things that contributes to, people who aren't quote unquote professional artists enjoying making art. We have too much focus on being professional and too much focus on the gallery and all that stuff. And yeah, I think I've mentioned this before. I'm going to talk briefly about AI art, but it's only connected to it. I really don't want to get into any debates or anything on AI art. But the thing that came up was that, some people, when commenting about the images it can produce, once again, I'm just going to say the way the technology is right now is totally unethical and really messed up and so on. But all that aside, artists and non-artists, were looking, mostly non-artists or non-professional artists or I'd say people who don't do art regularly, we're looking at it, and there was this sense of like, why even bother making art if you can't produce images that are as good as this machine can spit out. Now, only reason it can spit out those, amazing, they're not really amazing, but seemingly amazing images is because you basically took all the best artists in the world and, fed it through there. But that's not the reason people make art. Like, that's not the only reason. I never got into making into comic books to be, the best comic book artist. I mean, don't get me wrong, I wanted to be the best comic book artist, but I, wanted to be a comic book artist more than I wanted to be the best comic book artist. And I tried to be a comic book artist even when I wasn't the best comic book artist. So yeah, it's such an important point. And I think people forget that or don't see it. Because I mean, by that measure, it's like, why ever paint a portrait, right? Because like John Singer Sargent existed, J.C. Leyendecker existed, I mean, there's just, Rockwell, Andrew Loomis, just, and then you go back it further in history, even like, why even bother? Or start painting on paper and whose souls shrivel? I don't know why I'm not making the connection there. Like, I'm sure it's obvious to you and everybody watching what you were talk about, the losing the oh yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah. The delay sometimes really makes conversations rough a little bit. That's something I have to get into the habit of when I'm typing into, when I'm a spectator and I'm typing into chat. I have to remember to like kind of continue the thought, or summarize as I'm talking about it, because otherwise people lose the plot sometimes. I know I do too. Meaning is context dependent. Yeah, absolutely. That's yeah. I try to be good about the chat and kind of address things as soon as I see them. But I know as and I'm not expecting to get much bigger necessarily. Like, not expecting to become a huge streamer, but even just a few extra people, and it can make following it pretty challenging sometimes. I've had like, trying to remember what was my. I mean, at one there was like my biggest stream was I got rated and on Twitch, and I had like a couple hundred viewers for all of like 2 minutes until they all left. But generally speaking, I think I used to average around 20 people, and yeah, keeping track of the chat can be challenging. Not saying that it is right now, just in general. You know, when VR was kind of becoming, I don't want to say more popular, but there was a moment where it was kind of blowing up. And I saw some of the, I saw all of some of the like art programs. There was, it was Google. Google had one. Forget what it was called. You probably know. And then there was another one that was like, it was kind of, I can't remember the name of it. It wasn't sculpting exactly, but it was kind of painting and sculpting all together, but not real sculpting. I can't remember what it was called. It looked really cool, and I was like, man, maybe I should. This is like early stages of things. Maybe I should get into this. Maybe I should learn how to do this stuff, and I can get jobs doing it. Whatever. Creative Fit says, I really am interested in AR, augmented reality. AR is really cool, yeah. Mudbox is like that. Might have been that. I can't remember what it was called. There is one that lets you like zoom in a lot too, and zoom out. I saw videos about it. Anyways, bottom line is, I was like, oh, this looks cool. And then I watched a video, not a speed paint, but a real-time paint of how this works, and I was like, I'm good. I'll appreciate this and I'll enjoy looking at it. I don't want to do this. No, thank you. I mean, that's one of those things that's very, very individualized. The process. I know painters who hate doing, or maybe not hate, but prefer not to paint directly and prefer to do like glazes and stuff like that. I hate doing that. I'm not saying never ever do a glaze, but like, or scumble or anything, but for the most part, no thank you. I'm talking about the Italian VR artist? Maybe. There was a few online who showed like videos about it. Yeah. AR is cool. I wish I like, I do like technology. I wish AR was better. Yeah, I wish it was better, honestly. There was a company that had like promising tech, and I was hoping it would become something. I think they got bought out, and you know, their tech got folded into another company a bit, but yeah. I think AR would help fuel my ADHD. So I do want it. You would love to hang your art around town through a QR code? That could be fun. That could be fun. Absolutely. I you know what I want more is like, I mean, I think that's cool. I guess it depends on like the implementation, because right now you can do that with your cell phone, but like, you know, meh. Maybe I'm poo-pooing it, but meh. I'm on the meh train on that one. Um, if it was better, maybe, but currently it's not that good. I have there's a program, an app program. There's an app that lets you position your reference image over your painting, and it can do it like the dumb way, and it can do it through AR. Um, but it's so janky. It just like it doesn't go on exactly right, and then it like twitches out a lot, and so it's like, it's projected properly and then twitches out of place. It's just like, man, this would be such a useful app, but like, get it together. It's not really working. I think it would be cool if someone made, like, how can I put this? Like an AR world, right? So obviously the real world is the base for it, but like a shared AR universe. So you could have like kind of, like, I want to say like, graffiti or street art wars with each other, but or with other people, or not. It doesn't have to be wars. It could be, collaborative, um, but things where you would have to go to the place and do it. I think it could be really interesting because you can also incorporate the location into it, and depending on the angle where you're at, it can change. If it's AR, it will adjust accordingly. I don't think the tech's there yet, but that would be very cool. It's so funny. I've been painting for and drawing for years and years at this point. Um, and it's funny. I think of this sometimes, how doing this has actually, like, not just. I mean, I know like anything you do constantly can change your body to a degree, but it's also like habits and mannerisms. Like, I put my pinky out a lot because I use it for stability. I put it on the edge, or I put it on a dry piece of the painting or whatever. It's an easy, like, you know, it's an easy way to stabilize my hand. Um, and I have a tendency, not just when I'm painting, but like when I'm drinking or doing other things, like I have a tendency of sticking my pinky out because of that. And it's also when I'm like dealing with paint related stuff, you want to kind of you want to, only use the fingers that you're going to be using and have the rest of them out of the way. Should be a part of my profile pic. What? Oh, the pinky out? Yeah. It's not from this, pretentious thing. It's just kind of like a habit. I also, years and years ago, I tried to play, what was it? What is it? This is when it was popular, like, Guitar Hero, right? So I tried to play Guitar Hero, and I realized that at the time I was doing a lot of inking because I was in more in comics. And I realized that I'd practiced and trained myself to be very, very steady with my hand, as I'm moving my hand inking. And so suddenly trying to like do the Guitar Hero stuff where I'm like moving my hand, really, really fast. My hand was just like, yeah, no, we can't do this. I don't know what you're expecting, but this isn't happening. Uh, I thought that was pretty funny. I mean, now it is actually when I play video games now. I'm not saying I can't use my, my drawing hand at all. Of course I can, but it is very limited compared to my right hand as far as like, buttons and stuff like that. Maybe it was just pretentious because Krusty's copied artists. Probably. Artists are trendsetters overall. Not as much anymore, but back in the day they used to be. Maybe AI is pushing us to be again. Uh, you know, I don't know. Whole AI stuff, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, artists still are very much trendsetters in a lot of ways. Just not most of them, just a select few kind of thing. Out of jobs into other professions. Oh, you mean like pushing us to go into other professions? I don't know. I don't think so. You know, I'll be honest. I'm a little hopeful. Hitler, Hitler was an artist. True, but I don't feel like that really played a huge part in what he did after trying to be an artist. You know. Um, yeah, I don't know. The AI art stuff. You know, I don't know how to put this. I don't want to be, I don't want to be optimistic about things. But I do think, it's a big trend right now and it's a big deal right now. And I do think there will be, you know, obviously an adjustment period, but there's going to be a lot of back and forth with it as laws come out, as things come out. But honestly, I think it might, I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think it will actually kind of calm down at some point and not be as big a deal as kind of as we're worried it's going to be. It's a very strange thing because I theoretically it can be, but I don't know when you start getting into the like nitty gritty of it, it's one of those things where like the technology at like a high level ends up just being so much extra work that it's almost not worth it to a degree. I'm not saying it's gonna affect things, but to a degree. Hitler was a trendsetter, though. You do hope tactile paintings pump. I'm assuming you mean they like go up in value. I do think that there's. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. There is a world in which tactile paintings become more valuable. Uh, you know, that is theoretically something that can happen. Um, Hard to be optimistic, but it can happen. I will say this personally, and this is not to say anything negative about any digital artist, because it has nothing to do with the artists themselves, but the medium. Yeah, I much more prefer physical paintings than digital ones. And um, I don't think that's a generational thing. I don't think that's a artist thing. I just think that's a human thing. Like we are, we live in and exist in 3 dimensions, and having tactile things is better. Uh, in every way, we're just built that way. So, I remember there was a study that people learn better retain more reading from books than they do from Kindles, because your body catalogs a lot of other information and ties it all together in your memory. Like just holding the book, the thickness of it, when you're reading something important, like where you are in the book based off of thickness, stuff like that, like things that a Kindle can't do. Um, so, and same thing with writing, like taking notes. They found that people retain more when they take physical notes and have to think it through more and so on. Like a lot of interesting stuff out there about it. But yeah. So I don't know. I know that like the younger generations might not appreciate um, tactile paintings as much at the moment, but I do think when they get older, they will eventually, because uh, I feel like as you get older, you learn how, um, you know, how much more valuable that can be versus like just a digital copy of something. And, it's not universal and it's not everything, of course. Nothing is, but yeah. You live pretty close to the Getty here in LA. I remember the Getty. Getty's beautiful. I wish I'd gone more. It's one of those things that now that I don't live in LA, I regret not going more. It's like, I think one of the things though that is, I want to say, a big difference, and you don't get this from the Getty. I think holding a painting, like if you go to buy a painting and you can pick it up and hold it, I don't know, something really cool about that. Did I study out there? I used to live in LA for, let's see, shit. Originally I was born in LA, and then I moved away when I was uh a kid, and then I came back, and I was in LA. Let's see, I think it was like 2003 till 2018. So quite a while. I used to work there. I used to work at like I used to work at Mattel, and I worked at Disney, and uh, Disney online, not like the park. Um, I did storyboards for Marvel Animation for Guardians of the Galaxy. Their studio was in Glendale, although I worked from home because I was freelance. Yeah. I also studied there actually. I studied at an uncredited art school that no longer exists. Uh, Associates in art. It was it had its positives and its negatives. I was lucky though. I got to work at the school to pay for the tuition, and the tuition was a lot cheaper than like college. I do regret. I don't know if I regret, but it would have been nice to get the college experience. I didn't get that. But I also didn't get the college debt either. So, give and take, I guess. Sounds like you got some good connections out here. I used to have, and I still do. Yeah, I mean, it took years to get those connections. I didn't start off with them. And yeah, it took years and years to grow all those connections. But yeah, I mean, even right now, I'm in Austin, Texas, but I do storyboards on Crapopolis, the animated show, and that's in they're producing that in the studios in LA. Uh, I get to work remotely because they started the show during COVID, so everyone works remotely. I only did a semester here. Was in New York, Mid East, studying and living. I used to have family in New York, and I wanted to go study at the Joe Kubert comic book school in New Jersey. But yeah, that was really expensive, and there are other reasons that I ended up just not going that route. I'm actually really happy I didn't. I have a friend who went there, and his his description of the place was not the most positive. So I love the energy in New York. I think in a lot of ways I'm suited for the energy of New York City. But the winters, I am not suited for those winters. The winters here in Texas are bad enough, and it's nothing compared to New York. I went to visit family in what was it in Maryland during November once. I stepped out of the airport. I was like, "Fuck this! I am never living on the East Coast." It was so cold. Oh my god! And the snow and everything. No way. Creative Fit says been to 5 different art schools and a few more colleges. Yeah, Weatherby crazy. Yeah. Um. Yeah. The art school, only art school I went to was Associates in Art. I've taken classes other places. Here in Austin, Texas, there's a really great art school called the Atelier Dojo. Um, Really good school, really great teachers. It's an atelier type of school. It's not like a accredited college. Yeah, I think I may have told you this story already, and I apologize if I did. When I was in LA, I when I was looking at different schools to go to, uh, I met someone who was he just graduated from it wasn't Art Institute, it was the other one. There was Art Institute, and then there was another one that sounded like identical, but can't remember the name. They're the one that's a little more of a scam. They have schools all over the country, whereas trying to remember, it's like Art Institute and another one. I can't remember one of them is like only in LA, and then the other one is like it's a chain basically, and they have different locations. Art Center. That's it. There's Art Institute and Art Center, and I can't keep them straight in my head. But either way, uh, this guy had just graduated their what was it? Their like their gaming curriculum, whatever it is. And I felt so bad for this guy because he was not very good. And he could be good. Like I'm not, you know, but they robbed him. They put him through school. They took his money and they didn't make him a better artist. Or they didn't make him good enough, at least, to get work in the, you know, in the gaming industry, like as a concept artist or anything. Felt really bad for him, but all to say that kind of pushed me to go to the uncredited art school because I was like, I went for quality over degree. The Art Institute was all over and they were dismantled. Yes, because they sucked. It's interesting how different schools are from instructors to equipment. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it was Art Institute. Yeah. Yeah, they were bullshit. They were fraud, basically. I felt so bad for the guy because I was like, man, I haven't even gone to school yet and I draw better than you. And that's just saying like they did him wrong, you know? Art Center is awesome. Yeah, that's the one. Art Center in Pasadena. Yes. That one's really good. That one's also hard to get into from what I understand. And it's really expensive. But you also get like really good connections there. So it is, you know, that's the thing, right? Art schools have a few different functions, and I think Art Center does a lot of them really well. The only thing it doesn't do very well is not saddle you with debt. At least that's my understanding. I could be wrong. That's my understanding, though. That's changing. That's good. I'm glad. You know, I don't want people to go into debt going to school. I wish, you know, I would have gone to Art Center if I could have afforded it. There's just no way I could afford it. Same. Yeah. I mean, okay. To be clear, though, I say that, but let's also be clear about one thing. I don't know that I would have gotten in, right? Because I wasn't I wasn't that good. You know, I don't know that I was good enough to get into Art Center. Yeah. You did high school classes there? Nice. That's awesome. I've been there a couple times to like for different lectures and stuff. So I've seen the place. I've you know toured it a bit. But yeah, I never studied there. I wasn't the Liad yet. You know, I'll be honest. Yeah, absolutely. When I when I look back at like my comic book art, you know, and the stuff I was trying to get work with, I'm not saying I don't see like myself in it at all, But oh, in retrospect, most of it was not very good. You know, not everything. There's like one or two bangers in there that I still think look good till this day, but the majority of them, no, not at all. And it's I will say that is a very challenging aspect to art. Um because, you know, I look back and I'm like, yeah, I understand why I wasn't getting work. But then the question comes in, well then how do you know, you know, I thought I was good enough at the time, so clearly I was delusional. Am I still delusional? I mean, I know I'm not, but the question pops up because that self-doubt is there a lot of times. And I can, at this point in my life, I am capable of you know, dealing with that and mitigating it, not mitigating it, but like being rational about it. But yeah, in retrospect, I'm like, man, what was I thinking? But honestly, I think a lot of people get work at that stage because I don't know, with the exception of really, really skilled and talented, I don't even want to say talented, but skilled people, most people it takes years to get that good. I don't know. Mm. Like I said, obviously not everybody. Some people are just amazing. I was not. I should do a stream going over a bunch of my old art. Like I can bust out some of my old figure drawings and uh what's it called? Like quick sketches and stuff from like, you know, over a decade ago. Well, there's a huge chasm when you think about Van Gogh, penniless to priceless simultaneously. Yeah, yeah. But that one's more, I don't know. You know, that's kind of a, a different thing because that, I think even though at the time they probably didn't feel this way about it, that's more like fine art. And when we're talking about like art jobs, it's a different thing. Um, when it comes to fine art, I have a much more um, like what's the word I'm looking for? I have a different perspective on fine art than I do like art jobs, because they're just not the same thing. But yeah, like you, when it comes to fine art, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. How good you are, how bad you are. None of that stuff matters. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to be the best painter I can be. Most artists I know want to be the best they can be, but there's so much subjectiveness that goes into it, and you can appreciate fine art for so many different reasons. It doesn't all have to be, technical. Uh, but jobs, on the other hand, that's a little different. Uh, okay, that's good. Just moving around some windows real quick so I can see things better. There we go. But yeah, no, I should do a stream like that. Show my old art. I think that would be fun. I'm not I'm not ashamed of all my bad art. I think it shows more um, how much progress I've made and how I've had to claw every inch of that improvement over the years. I'll be honest, I don't think I'm the, you know, I don't think I'm the most talented, gifted artist out there, like by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think so at all. Um, some people, and I don't want to take away from people's work because some people, most artists I know are really hardworking at being really good, but uh, yeah, it's not. I don't think that all this stuff came easy to me. So I don't mind showing all the old crappy art kind of thing. That would creative fit sets. That would be interesting. Yeah, it would be. I think it would be fun. I have a um, I have some I can show a couple things. When I first so there's my career was you know kind of a roller coaster in some ways. And so I started off, wanting to do comics and doing, pencil and inks and all that. But in art school, I, did more traditional stuff as well. And then I went back into comics, and then I went all digital at one point, uh, mostly because I thought I was going to be homeless and or living in my car, and I wanted to make sure I could still work and make a living. And I had a laptop, and like I was all digital. And then eventually I went back to traditional art and started doing, wanted to get into painting, um, or get back into painting, I should say. But in a different way than I used to. I wanted to do techniques that I hadn't done before. And oh my God, it was so frustrating to be at like a certain level in my drawing and painting ability digitally, and then to try and do something in paint and just not be able to execute it at all. It was so frustrating. That is, I will say, that is a time I wish I had taken classes and I didn't, and I really regret that. Because I think it would have just been quicker. Like I think I would have gotten past that, like, over that hump or whatever it is, a lot quicker. Um, but at the time, I just couldn't do it. I didn't have the time or money, mostly time. But yeah, I think that would have been so helpful at the time, though. I think I have like one or two paintings around here I've shown before on stream that were early incarnations of my oil painting. Um, my acrylic paintings are really funny. I tried acrylic painting, it did not go well, and I abandoned acrylic really fast because of that. Let's see. Yes, here's some of my older ones. Not all of these are horrible. I'm not trying to like say like, oh, look at all these horrible, horrible paintings. I will say this. I went plein air painting. Plein air painting is very challenging, and it's an extra skill in addition to being able to paint. So even when I could draw and paint digitally, and then I started getting better at oil painting, then I go plein air painting, and it's just awful. Here's a plein air painting I did. I will tell you what it is in just a minute, but it's probably not what you think it is. I mean, once I tell you, you'll kind of get it, that this is a water fountain. Like, there's the water, there's the fountain part, there's a bunch of trees, and then there's like some hills in the very background. But oh my god, this is not a good painting. And here here I tried to paint. This is a small bottle of like liquid. This is a what's it called? A Wacom stylus. And I don't know what that is. That's something. I don't know. I don't know what that is either. Like, you can kind of tell what it is, sort of. Like, if this had been like what my like sketch was, or laying it in, if I'd laid in the painting and this is what came out, that would have been fine. This was like the best I could pull off at the time. Like, this was finished. I couldn't refine this anymore because I lacked the ability to get the paint to do what I needed it. Creative Fit says, I got it. It had concept design vibes. You're very generous. Here's another one. Now, I get this. This is not like the worst painting in the world. I'm not trying to say like, if this is your level, this is the worst painting, like that you're a bad painter. But this was like the best I could do in oil paints at one point. And the thing is, if you could compare this to like the portraits I was doing digitally, is a whole different, like, it was such a huge gap. This one isn't like horrendous, you know, I'm not saying that it's horrendous, but the gap was horrendous and frustrating. So yeah, you know, I have piles of paintings and paper and stuff that I worked on that, you know, is probably going in the trash at some point. I think every artist has that. Like, I would assume that every artist has that. They either have them or they already threw them away. I don't know any artist that can be very good and not. Yep. Yeah, that's one thing I think is always very entertaining to me. You know, not so much artists, but I think of it as far as like musicians. Like, you have musicians who are like, you know, who go on stage, right? And they're very popular, and, you know, I mean, being either a singer or musician or whatever is a you know, a thing that is like very popular. It's very, you know, I think about that. I'm like the biggest, you know, rock star guitarist out there spent you know, hours every day by themselves just getting better at playing the guitar. You know, it's just, you can't get that good without doing that. I don't know. I think it's a, that I find that thought kind of funny for whatever reason. That's one reason I do enjoy. There are some social art things out there. I do enjoy those. I used to go to like drink and draws and everything like that. Got several hours ahead of me tonight painting. Yep. Well, I'm going to say this now. I wish you luck. I hope it goes well. What are you working on? Do you feel like sharing what you're working on? Um, yeah. Can you share what you're working on? Backdrop for a community event. That's right. As soon as you say it, my memory is like, oh yeah, I remember you talking about that. But until you mention it, my memory was like, yeah, I have no idea what this person's doing. It's acrylic 9 by 12 nativity scene. When you say 9 by 12, I assume you're talking feet, given that it's a backdrop. Yeah. Yep. I actually have a acrylic painting in my room right here I can show. Um, have you seen my Godzilla painting? It's not a great painting. It was a joke backdrop that I painted onto a refrigerator cardboard box. This was back when I was streaming exclusively on Twitch, and I was more involved in a Pinky's community, and so for Halloween I made like a backdrop. Um, yeah, you don't think so? Okay, I'll try and show it at the end of the stream, just for funsies. Like I said, it is not a good painting. It was just I used leftover acrylics that I had lying around, and I hated every second of it because not only was I painting acrylics, but I was painting acrylics on cardboard, unprimed cardboard, which just like sucked up all the water instantly. And just it was like dried instantaneously. Hopefully it's bad. It will make me feel better about where I'm at. Okay, well, I mean, look, it's like a cartoony drawing, it's a painting. It's not like like it's, it's one of those things where it's like, how can I put this? I think I did a good job of compensating for everything. So if it doesn't look bad, that's because I worked around the issues kind of thing. But it's not a good painting. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh no, this is a great painting. But I don't think it looks terrible. But that's only because I could work around, what I was doing kind of thing. Which is probably, you're probably much more limited in your ability to do that given what you're doing. Yeah, because like I could lean back on like making it cartoony, and I could lean back on not putting certain details in, and so on. Like I could totally get away with stuff like that. Basically, I could cheat it, is what I'm saying. All right, I've danced around the figures enough. Let's get in there. Let's see if I can make some progress on these characters. Mine is more empty because it's for live nativia scene, so it feels empty. Oh, that makes sense. Absolutely. It's a totally different, you know, different thing. But I really suffered through the painting process though. Well, the acrylics, I was not a fan. These were leftover acrylics that I had from when I was like in art school at one point. So, you know, very old acrylics. They still worked, but yeah, it was just not great. In fact, you can't really see it here, but the board that this painting is what's it called, taped to, was actually what I used as my palette because I didn't have a palette for acrylics specifically anymore. You're suffering over the limited palette? Yeah. Uh, I will say in acrylics, I can understand wanting to like just do out of the tube painting. Absolutely. Oh, excuse me for a second. uh, little cramp in my toe all of a sudden. uh, that was weird. Yeah, I tried to paint in acrylics, and I tried to do direct portrait painting in acrylics, and the people came out looking like they had a disease. Like they came out all blotchy with like patches of like stuff on them because I couldn't color match anything because of the severe color shift that would happen every time I put down color and it dried, it would change. And I was just like, I can't work like this. I don't know how. Um, Miss you miss your phthalo blues and greens? Yeah. It does. It does that. Yeah, it does do that. It's very frustrating. Oils do it to a degree, but not like what's it called? Not like acrylics. Although gouache is arguably worse than acrylics even for that particular issue. I'm gonna have to put out some more phthalo blue soon. Oils suck up darks when wet. Well, yes and no. That's what I was referring to, though. You're right. You're talking about when the colors sink. Uh, that doesn't happen as much, um, or rather, that is kind of circumstantial. It depends on your painting technique, on your surface, and on your uh, let's see, and on your colors. Those are the factors that determine that. But the thing is, you can it's Creative Fit says it's definitely different from each medium. Yeah, absolutely. Um, it's definitely different in each medium for sure. But with oils, at least you can oil out. You know, being able to oil out so that you get back to it is amazing. But yeah, gouache. I like gouache. I do like working in gouache. Um, but man, gouache just it like the darks dry light, the lights dry darker. It's so hard to color match anything in that. So challenging. All right, I'm going to put out some more phthalo while I guess I'm just going to put out some more phthalo. No, just going to do that right now. You've seen some great illustration work in gouache. Oh yeah, yeah. If you want to feel inferior as a painter, um, go watch James Gurney paint in gouache. He has a YouTube channel and he's just amazing. Um, James Gurney, yeah, James Gurney on YouTube. I mean, it's infuriating how good he is sometimes. I remember this one video I saw where he went to a plein air convention, I think it was, and he realized that he didn't have any available pages in his sketchbook. So he found a portrait that he didn't like that much, poured water on it, wiped it off because gouache can always be reworked, and then did a plein air painting of the people painting at the convention, and just like amazing. Creative Fit says, not as infuriating as watching Damien Hirst. That's for a very different reason, though. Don Lee, hey Don Lee, good to see you. How you doing? Looking good. Don Lee says, looking good. Been lurking for a while in your chat for a bit. Back into lurking. No problems, Don Lee. Don Lee's a streamer, by the way. Check him out on Twitch. Don Leo. Don Lee _O. Yeah. All right. I have to take a quick break and make a phone call. So I will do that. Be right back. Alrighty. I'm back. Let's see. Creative Fit is wondering what Don Lee's working on. I'm also curious. Don Lee's a really good artist. He streams, he does digital art, he does all kinds of stuff, portraits and animals, and a lot of fun pop culture related stuff, which makes his streams very entertaining. Anyway, actually, you know what? I'll take a quick break since I already took a break and kind of, sometimes it's a momentum thing. So let me get that backdrop out for you and show that. The face cam. Yeah. Don Lee will remember this because this was back when Pinky streamed. I do miss Pinky. Hope she's doing well. So this is a old refrigerator box. It's folded in, of course, but yeah. You can see the squares here. I used to tape boards to this and what's it called? Prime them on this. So this was just as a backdrop for priming stuff on. Then let's see, where is it? Okay, here we go. Hold on, let's get some more light in here. All right. So here we go. So if you get close, you can see that the quality is not great. but from a distance, it works. The eyes are silly because they're the old, they're based off of the original like Godzilla eyes. Yeah, thanks, Zonly. Yeah, that's why they emote. The tacos, the theme, it was like it was an online prom. That was the concept of it. And so the concept of the prom was Godzilla tacos. So that's why he has tacos and he's wearing a suit because it's a prom. It's supposed to be like a prom backdrop. And then you have the city, and that's it, you know. And then there's some little like Easter eggs that are related to like what's it called? Pinky's community. But yeah, you can see the sky's crap. Like I struggled getting. You can see I struggled to get coverage on this. And you can see at the edges. Like I really struggled with a lot of it. Obviously, I focused more there, but yeah. So yeah, but I mean, it was fun. Okay, no, I take that back. Painting it was miserable, but the event was a lot of fun, and that is not a flattering camera angle at all. Okay then. Yeah, this also used to be the backdrop of my what's it called? Oh my Twitch stream, just because it was a way of like you know um hiding my messy room. Should use it for a just chatting booth. Yeah, maybe. I I don't know. I think uh, like I like the idea of that, but really what I need to do is get, you know, uh organize my room a little bit better, and then I can have the whole idea of the backdrop of my, you know, my paintings being back there was so that people could see my paintings and want to buy said paintings. So I really what I need to do is switch where the camera is. I need to have the camera over here looking straight at the background. Only problem with that is if I do that, um, chat won't. Like right now, when I read chat, I'm kind of looking at the camera when you know, so I feel like it seems more like interactive in a way. Whereas if I mount the camera onto my easel, I don't know. Hopefully that made you feel better, Creative Fit. You can see how much I struggled with that acrylic painting. Probably should have gestoed the cardboard, but I thought it was acrylic, then it would be fine. Yeah. Well, not the only one. Hmm? Not sure I understood that. Uh, But yeah, that I don't know, that was a fun painting. And oh, not the only one who struggled. Yeah, yeah. No, I was like cursing up a storm while I was painting. It was fun afterwards. But this is one of those experiences where actually making the painting was not fun, but the final product was fun. But that's probably because it wasn't like, you know, an important painting to me, right? Like it was just it wasn't something that meant anything to me. You know, so the like so painting it didn't mean much to me, but the final part of it mattered a lot, and that I was very happy with that. Because I the community, it was a really fun community to be a part of. This was when COVID was like, you know, height of lockdown type of thing, so everyone was online more than they are now. Oh, I am. So I guess I should put the link for this. I am doing portfolio, not portfolio reviews, art reviews, not portfolio reviews, just single piece art reviews. But I'm not doing it on my Discord. I'm doing it on a different streamer's Discord because they have more people. Um, Honestly, that's pretty much the only reason I'm doing that there. But yeah, it's called West Side Tyler. Um, that's um, the streamer on YouTube, and I've been enjoying his community a lot, and so I'm going to be doing. He's growing really fast, and which is really cool to see. And he, he has a lot of art people in his community, so I'm going to be doing some critiques this weekend. So he's kind of blown up a little because of all the Shadiversity stuff. He's kind of the Shadiversity and AI art stuff. So you may have seen his videos if those are the type of stuff you follow on YouTube. But yeah. So if anybody wants to get a critique from me this Saturday, um, you know, you can post in my Discord. I will probably link you into his Discord to be, officially part of it, kind of thing. But yeah, um, or check out Westside Tyler on YouTube. To be fair, I don't think that I can give um, like great art critiques to, you know, uh, well established artists because this is, at least in my mind, intended more for, beginner artists. I mean, I guess I could give critique for, more accomplished artists. It's just at a certain point that becomes very challenging, um, and very, very specific kind of thing. Like, because there are some artists, for instance, who I know some really great painters, and it's like they're fantastic. But if they wanted then like a critique from me, there could be some elements in their art where I could maybe find something specifically if they were like trying to do, let's say, comics like narrative art, and they didn't have a lot of experience in that or something like that. But otherwise, they're so good. Like, what am I going to add to it? You would totally check it out, but this week is slammed for me. Hey, no worries, Creative Fit. I will probably do something like this again or do more of it in the future. Um, I would even like to do something like this on stream at some point. You know, um, or like make a video out of it or something. So there's potential in the future for something like this too. It's easy to dual stream now. Used to have to use StreamYard. Uh yeah, no, dual streaming from a technical aspect is pretty easy now. If anyone who wants to know how to dual stream, if you need a technical guide, Epos Vox and uh, what's the guy's name who does Stream Beats? I can't remember his name right now. Um, I think it's like Alpha Gaming or something like that. Which, whatever. Um, yeah, they have some really good. Um, what's it called? Um, tutorials on how to multi-stream. It's just like a couple. It's like basically a plugin. Only thing is you need the bandwidth and also a computer that can handle it. Although to be fair, like if I'm looking at my like my CPU usage right now is at like 3% for OBS. Like OBS is not that hard on the computer, and it is using my graphics card to do the compression. So it's not 100% accurate, but if you're playing video games, it's a lot harder. If you're doing IRL painting, um, it's a lot easier on the computer. There's even a plugin that I haven't tried yet that I want to try that can also you can also do vertical you know uh, props and do that way. I don't know. The only thing is the chat. Luckily, um, I'm not very big, so I don't have a lot of people in chat, so it's not a problem. But if I had like multiple chats, like a lot of people in multiple chats, that could be a little difficult. The other thing too is I don't put my chat on like in the window, where I know a lot of people do that. They have the chat running on the picture. I don't do that. So the two chats don't matter as much to me. I've never used StreamYard. There's another service. I can't remember the name of it. There's a slow mode, and mods obviously help. Yeah. Uh, yes. All of those things are true. I really don't have to worry about it. You know, I hope to one day have to worry about it, but you know, whatever. I'm not overly concerned about that. I would love to be able to make content similar to what to the speed paints that Nicholas Uribe used to make on his channel, Our Painted Lives. And him and Danny, they used to make them together. She did all the editing and everything. Only issue is I honestly I don't know that I have nearly as much to say as Nicholas Uribe did. Twitch now has integrated dual stream recently. They do? How? What do you mean? I know that they recently allowed it, but I don't know what you mean by integrated. Maybe I didn't hear something. Yep, it's now native. What software are you using? Instead of plugins? Oh shoot, I have to look at this. This is new to me. Yeah, because I'm using OBS and I'm using a plugin to stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. If we're talking, oh, well, hold on a second. Oh, I'm talking about multi-streamers dual stream. Okay. Are you talking about people being able to stream in each other's stream? Is that what you're talking about? Because I saw that. I think that's fantastic. Instead of having to go through a Discord. Oh, yeah. That is fantastic. Yes. If, it's one of those things where it's yeah, if I had, people to collab with regularly kind of thing, I would love that feature so much. Okay, I thought you were referring to. So when I was referring to multi-streaming, I'm referring to streaming to Twitch and YouTube like simulcast. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's a really cool feature. I wish I had a way of taking advantage of it better, but uh, yeah, I've yet to think of a way that I can use that. But yep, I do like it. So, for the record, in case someone doesn't know or I wasn't clear with what this is, Creative Fit is talking about. In Twitch, you have the ability to have like multiple Twitch streamers stream together as like one as like guests in each other's stream kind of thing, and it's like integrated into Twitch, which is really cool. And if you do like something that's kind of like formatted like a TV show, like some people did like the match game or something, or if you're doing interviews or whatever, like stuff like that, it's like great for that. I could even see it being potentially good for like art critique if everyone who wanted a critique had a Twitch channel and the ability to like jump in kind of thing, which isn't very realistic, but it's a lot safer. So, because I thought about having people come into Discord live. The problem is I apparently I have trust issues because I'm worried that people are going to come into my Discord chat and say, you know, horrible things that get me banned off of YouTube. So, yeah, apparently I have trust issues. So, therapy sessions first. I don't. Here's the thing. I don't know. Um, it's that old saying like, um, what is it? Just because they're after you doesn't mean you're not paranoid or whatever it is. Like, you know. So regardless, I still would be kind of worried. Especially because I have made some, we'll say, not friends on Twitter recently. Um, you know, some people are not really crazy about my opinions on AI art. Mostly, mostly hack AI artists who don't appreciate real art. Um, yeah. it is astonishing how like vindictive some of those people are. So yeah, I'm kind of, you know, wary of that. We'll put it that way. That's Twitter for you. It's not just Twitter. I'll be honest. Like here's the thing, right? Um, people who just use AI or whatever. But the people who are like, there are like insane lunatics who are like, you know, there. It's very much it feels very similar to crypto and NFTs in the how it comes across. And they are I don't know what the right word is. They're not only on Twitter though, is the thing. They're also on, I know, Reddit. I know. But they're very just like I said, very vindictive and just, there's a cruelty there that, yeah, I don't understand, but yeah. But they're all bots. Their opinions don't matter. I mean, yeah, their opinions don't matter. But uh, they can still do cruel. They can still be cruel, kind of thing. So, anyways, that's all to say. I'd be wary of them coming into my chat, kind of thing. Like I know someone who's much bigger than me, um, and much more active in like the kind of AI or anti-AI stuff, and they literally have like uh, you know uh, we'll call them like spies, but or something. They literally have people who like hate them join their Discord just to like follow what they're doing and so on. Really creepy stuff like that. I mean, to be fair, I'm in the Discord of Midjourney because I didn't know what Midjourney was when no one knew what Midjourney was. When it was brand new, I was like, only way I can learn about this is to be part of the Discord and see what's what. But yeah, not worth really talking about. That's all to say that trust issues. I need some water. All right, let's see if I can get a little definition of this guy right here. Trying to keep my head out of the frame, but we'll see if I can. Uh, we'll see how successful I am. Well, if you're on the inside, you'll know where to send the drones. All right. This guy's face is weirdly proportioned. Not really. It's just, I think partially the quality of the photo. Also, I think I need to bring that down a little bit. Let's see. Oh yeah. No, I messed this up. All right, that's cool. Messing up your painting is part of the process. All right. I don't know if anybody here watches Drawfee, um, but I try and watch them when I don't always, but um, they have a thing where they talk about like just delete your art. Everybody just delete your art. And I mean they're joking around. They're kind of a comedy thing, but yeah, there's something to it. Like not being afraid of deleting your art. Definitely a good thing. Okay, and now I hate that halo that I just gave him. Oh, I'm going to say this now. I'm probably getting close to finishing for tonight. Um, Busy week for me. So yeah. Yeah, I always try and give a long rundown for my like finishing stream because the delay, people sometimes want to jump into chat right as I'm leaving, and I feel so bad when that happens. Uh, let's see. Creative Fit says, I went through a time, sat the brush down for a while. The only art I did was for the kids, little drawings. I'm glad you're back to it. I totally understand. I don't want to make anybody feel bad for not doing art. Like life is hard, you know, and finding time is hard and so on. So I don't want to make people like feel bad for not doing it. However, it's like going to the gym, you know? It's like it's one of those things where it's just like it's just better for you if you do it, you know? Um or like working out, maybe not the gym, but working out, being physically active. You know. And I'm a couch potato. Like I'm not nearly as physically active as I want to be or should be, you know. But yeah. Um so making art is very much like going to the gym. Only it's way more enjoyable. Oh, hey, Aaron. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Did I did I not see you for a while? I apologize. I have two chats going and it's hard sometimes to notice both chats at the same time. I do apologize. Am I the lucky one today? I don't know. Probably not. And I'm sure that's my fault somehow. So, yeah, I apologize for not seeing it. You just joined? Okay, good. Well, now I feel a lot better. Yeah, I'm going to be ending soon, but yeah. So I have two chats on at the same time. Yeah. So I actually noticed you pretty quickly. Okay, great. Good, good. Yeah, I'm trying to be good about that, but it's kind of an, you know, an eye level thing kind of. How are you doing, Aaron? Uh there's a bit of a delay, so I apologize. It's so hard to have conversations through the chat. Well, not maybe not so hard. It's hard to have quick ones, I should say. Expedient ones is difficult. You're good? Good, man. I'll be in touch with you soon. I got a lot of my computer crap. Um and I don't know. I don't need your help for it, but I think that would be fun. Did you buy your monitor? Yeah, I did buy a monitor. Eh, I did. It's I like it a lot. You will hate it because it's not a gaming monitor. So I bought a very large 4K monitor for my computer. So for me, the image quality and the size matter more than the refresh rate. I know. You say it's amazing, but I couldn't find one with the with a high refresh rate. So you know, not at the size I was looking at least. So. Well, I should say it's the size and price, right? Because you can find anything if you have the money for it. Uh, as long as you're happy, yeah, I'm happy with it. I I uh, I bought a computer case though for the new computer, and it arrived damaged, so they have to send me a new one. Yeah, I'm really stoked. Tried to take advantage of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that stuff, and finally got some new gear, computer gear. Um, yeah. Hopefully, this means a lot more videos coming soon once I get everything up and running. So hopefully, a lot more YouTube videos, you know. That's the goal, at least. That's why I bought everything. Yeah, I'm gonna just letting you know I'm ending stream in a couple minutes. I appreciate you stopping by. Um, Fortunately, it's been like 2 hours and I am pooped and starving. So, yeah. Good to see you've making videos consistently. Yeah, live streaming, that was my goal for this year. You know, the end of the year was to live stream consistently. And you know, it's not the biggest accomplishment in the world, but I'm really proud of it. You know, being able to do it so consistently. So, you know, gotta gotta be kind to yourself, and take the wins when you have them. Yeah. Did you just start it today? The painting? No, the painting I started on. Um, I think Sunday. Sunday. I started it on Sunday. Sunday. I paint. I stream Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. Sunday and Wednesday. It's Monday. Sorry, Monday and Wednesday night. Sunday day. Usually, my night streams are about 2 hours, and my Sunday stream is between 3 to 4 hours, roughly. So it gives you an idea of how long this all took. Roughly, I'm definitely slower on stream than I am like if I were to just be painting on my own. Thank you, Creative Fit. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thanks for the claps. I appreciate the validation and encouragement. Yeah, this is a very so I guess I could talk about the painting briefly. This painting is based off of found photography. And so it's based off of a very old photo. And so the quality of of the photo is not great, which is fine. I'm not look. This isn't meant to be a very detailed painting, but rather a snapshot memory kind of feel to it. So, you know, that's that's the goal of this painting. So it's not as like um, refined or detailed as like some of my other paintings. Um, but that's kind of the general feel of it. And in case anyone doesn't know what found photography is, uh, that's I didn't know what it was either. Found photography is basically abandoned photos that are found somewhere. The example I give all the time is, um, storage units. Let's someone doesn't pay their storage unit, and it goes for auction. And someone buys it, and then there's like a bunch of random box of photographs and so on. No one knows who it belongs to. No one knows who the people in it are. It's found photography. Or yeah. Um, so you can buy those online or at secondhand stores, all kinds of stuff like that. So, um, so yeah. So I bought some and trying to pick out and make make paintings that feel like you know like a like your own memory, even though it might not be your own memory. And the example I can give is I have this painting. I haven't finished it yet, but I need to finish it off stream. But this painting I did on stream, like I said, it's almost done. I'm just going to finish it off stream. This painting is like the best way I can describe it is is the if I didn't know I painted it and a family member told me it was a painting of my family from when I was younger and I didn't remember it, I'd be like, yeah, sure, that makes sense. Who are the people in it? But I'd be like, yeah, that's my childhood, even though not my childhood, not It's just one of those things where like people have very very similar shared lives in some ways. Not everybody. It's not it's a Venn diagram. It's not a it's not a it's not a what's it called 100% overlapping circles, but there's definitely going to be some aspects of it that do overlap between people. Anyways. Creative Fit says, my wife is concerned I'm going to Photoshop our childhood together for good reason. All right, I'm calling it a night tonight. Thank you all for stopping by. I appreciate it. Like I said, I stream Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Sunday day, Monday night, Wednesday night. I simulcast to Twitch and YouTube, but I prioritize YouTube, and if there's ever a moment where I have to choose between the two, so just FYI, if you're basically, I'm trying to say, like, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Anyways, thank you all for stopping by. Like I said, Creative Fit, Aaron, Don Leo, everybody, have a good one. Hope to see you Sunday. Oh, Creative Fit, I was just saying goodbye. Yeah, all right, goodbye. Add wall. Yeah, that's another reason I prioritize YouTube.